Hi Noteboard Gamers, and welcome back to Noteboard Gaming. I'm your host, I'm Mark. Now in today's video we're going to be reviewing the solo experience of this game I've got set up right in front of me right here, and this is Kinfire Chronicles from Incredible Dream Studios, designed by Kevin Wilson and Adela Kapuscinka. I hope I get that right. And Kinfire Chronicles, you may have seen, I think it was like number 8 on my favourite games, solo list of 2023. And it's appeared on quite a few reviewers' kind of favourite lists as well. It was a game that came out about a year or so ago. It came, less than a year ago. It came to Kickstarter, and it was delivered to backers last year. And this is a review copy that was sent to me by the guys at Incredible Dream Studios. So what is Kinfire Chronicles? Well, it's an adventure game where you're going to play the part of an adventurer or two adventurers if you're playing solo. There may be a true solo option. I don't know. I always play with 2 characters. And you're going to choose adventurers, and you're going to go out on these various quests. So it's an emergent storyline. It is a campaign-style game, and things get added to the game as the game progresses. Things like rules, etc., and I'll come on to that in a second. So you're going to choose these adventurers, and you're going to go out, and the main part of the game is essentially the combat, and it's like an arena-style combat where you're going to take on one or more bad guys. You can see I've got down here in front of me one or more bad guys in various combats, but to get there you're going to have to go on exploration and adventures, etc., and go to various towns and visit towns. And it's all driven by a kind of by an emergent card system as well. And in these cards you have various options and various paths you can take. So there are a number of quests in the box. There are 21 quests in the box, and chances are in a full playthrough of a campaign you won't play all of them. You will choose which quests you want to go on to get to the end of the campaign. So, you know, there is an element of replayability there, but it's not total, and I'll come to that in a bit. So, as I say, there's adventuring. You're going to go and visit towns, you're going to go and explore, you're going to go side quests, you're going to get memories, you're going to get additional things to do. There is an entire box of cards which are sealed up for some of them. Then you have them in little boxes, and then you have secret envelopes which you may or may not uncover as you continue your quest. So chances are definitely on your first playthrough you're not going to see everything that the game has to offer. And it's all laid out in this wonderful way, and I'll show you when we drop down to the table exactly how it looks. So as I say, you're going to choose your adventurers, and there are a grand total of 6 adventurers to choose from that you get with the base game. So you have, we have Ash, we'll start off down here. We have Naz of the Windstrikes. Yeah, Naz of the Windstrikes. We have Kor. We have Ash of Brillbrook. We have Valora Helmsman. We have Fane Longstride, and we have Roland Wordforger. So for mine, I've chosen Kor and Roland Wordforger. And I'm kind of, not even a quarter of the way into this probably just yet, around about the quarter mark. I won't tell you what scenario I'm on, because you'll see it when we go on the table, but I'm on a particular quest here. And combat is played out in a really nice way. So you put all the relevant chips into the bag. You've got your chips in here for both of the characters that you've got, and chips which choose which action is going to be taken by the bad guys, and we'll come on to that in a bit. And how do you then combat? Well, in your turn you're allowed to kind of move one, and then you play an action card from your hand, and these action cards give variant abilities, and they may be to, to strike, they may be to throw bombs, they may be a meteor throw here, a heavy staff, a loyal arrow, throw a fireball, a well-timed blow, and I've got more in my deck here. You see, it's a deck construction game as it progresses throughout the game itself. And your deck is limited to 18 cards and kind of action and their boost cards, etc. You will get additional cards to put in there. So you have to curate your deck as you go through the game as well. And then on your turn, you're going to you're going to draw a hand of 7 cards, and they will allow you to then play your turn. But what happens when you get through your entire deck? See, that gives its own little boost, because what happens is it allows you to charge up your lantern power. So if you look here, I've got the lantern power for Roland Wordforger, and it says Purity, Fire's Cleansing. It's a ranged attack, and it will give 3 and damage anybody on that area as well. Pointing with his hammer, Roland cries out, cleanse the impure as flames from his lamp fill the air around him. After attacking, distribute 3 statuses of your choice among the targets as you see fit, and then you would flip that back over. And you activate that by getting through your entire hand. Once you've used it, it then flips back over to its uncharged side, and then it does it. Mention statuses in there because there are a number of statuses that are in the game as well. We have Trapped, which stops you from moving. We have Stunned, which when this ability triggers, discard this card, the enemy cannot attack this turn. We have Weak, which says, when this ability triggers, discard this card, each of the enemy's attacks deals one less damage. And then we have Hurt, so when this is activated, discard this card and the enemy suffers 2 damage. So those statuses will come on me as the Seekers and on the bad guys as well. So I say, you're going to go through this bag and start drawing chips out. It's going to activate certain baddies. Your aim on any particular combat is obviously to defeat the bad guys, and it looks, and it plays really kind of fast once you know what you're doing. But the key thing is kind of curating your deck, making sure you have the right kind of cards in there for what you want to try and achieve. So I say, in the main, it's a big sprawling. It's a sprawling adventure game, but it's surprisingly easy to grasp. And why is it surprisingly easy to grasp? Well, because of these here. These are the rule books. So I've got them in order here, 1, 2, 3, 4. You see, when you open your first quest, you're going to get 1 rule book. I'll tell you about it. Then you'll open another quest, you get another rule book, add some more rules. Then another quest, add another rule book and give you some more rules. Then another quest, add another rule book and give you some more rules. So it spoon feeds you the rules as you go in. Now, in the later quests that I got, I haven't come across any more rule books yet. I'm not to say that they're not in there, because they may well be. But there are certain things like this little map, which I won't show you, that activate as well. And as I say, it's driven by a card system. So each quest box has its own pack of cards, which will have various things in there. There will be quest prompts, there will be memories, and there will be other cards that you have to read through to kind of get through the story as well. And depending on what you choose can affect your choices later in the game as well. And of course, with it being an adventure game, it's a kind of RPG style element, so you're going to gradually improve and increase the abilities and the powers of your Seekers as you progress through the games. You'll get better weapons, better charms, etc. And you'll do that by going into town and buying things, or being given things, or uncovering things. And it's a really nice way of doing it. So yeah, that's kind of the overview on the game. One other thing I will say is setup is absolutely not a problem at all. The way that you got the storage solution in the box, it's kind of designed to be set up within about 5 minutes and turned down within about 5 minutes. Dead easy to save your game. So the thought about quality of life in everything that they've done for Kinfire Chronicles, and just made it as easy as possible to get to the table. So without much further ado, let's drop you down to the table. I'll show you roughly how a combat works, and then we'll pop back up and I'll give you my final thoughts on Kinfire Chronicles, the Night's Fall, should I say. Now, they have a new game coming out, which is Kinfire Council. It comes out to Kickstarter on the 30th of April. In that Kickstarter pledge, you will be able to pledge for the reprint of Kinfire Chronicles as well. The link will be in the description below. So let's drop you down to the table and show you how it works. Okay, so here you can see I've got everything set up for this particular quest on Kinfire Chronicles. Here's my 2 Seekers. I have Roland down here, and I have Core up there. And look at these. These are acrylic standees, which are just absolutely fantastic. The acrylic standees for the Seekers, and for the bad guys you have these cardboard standees. So this particular map, there's a map book here, and it tells you which map to turn to. Down here I have both of my characters, so I have Core on the right and Roland on the left. Here's their deck of cards. Now you can see there's some cards to the left. That's because to get to this point, I had to, throughout my adventure, I had to flip certain cards over, so I'm starting with a reduced deck here. But I've also drawn my my cards as well, my hand of cards. So there's 7 cards plus any armour that you get, and Roland starts with 1. Now the cards are essentially made up into 2 types of cards. Let's just find the if there's any matching ones here. Here we go. Loyal Arrow. So we'll go to Loyal Arrow, okay? So in your deck, you will have an action card and the associated boost card for it as well. This is my Loyal Arrow here. It's a range of 3 and allows me, sorry, a range of 1. So when it's ranged, you're allowed to do exactly 1 space away. And it can damage 3 and also damage all others in that area. So you choose a bad guy and it damages there. It tells you what to do. But they also come with a boost card as well. Now, you don't necessarily use boost cards on your turn. Boost cards are generally used to boost when the other seeker is taking their turn. So you would, you know, if they were to, if Core was to take an action and I wanted to boost their attack by 1, I would play that boost card out of my turn. But so you get the action card and the boost card in there, and then there are some armor cards, and effectively they allow you to suffer 1 less damage. I've got this special one here, which is a black powder bomb, and there are other cards as well which you may uncover. And as I mentioned, you also get the lantern card which you charge. So that's kind of how it looks for there. I've got 7 cards there for oh, they were Core's cards, not Roland's. I get 7 cards for Core, and no, that's right, they are Roland's. I get 7 cards for Roland, and then I've got Core's cards here. Core starts with 3 armor, so he comes a little bit more prepared. And you can see he's got his action, and he's got a ward there as well. Now, wards are instant, and they stay in play throughout the game. So while this card is in play, enemies suffer 1 damage each time they move. Free action, I get to play another card, so that's a different type of card there. And there we go. And you can see the cards are coloured as well, because generally when you're playing a boost, it has to be the same colour as the card that was played by the other seeker, unless they're white, and then you get to play them on any, but you also get these jewels as well, which means you can play them as either colour. You can play them as a green or as a red as well. Okay, so that's kind of how the cards work. So what we'll do throughout the combat flow, it tells you down here, we're going to draw starting hand, and the enemies are going to focus on their target. So each enemy has a specific focus, and that's listed up here on there. So you won't be able to see here, but the Flame Ape, which is this one here, says it's going to focus on the Seeker that's got the most armor. I know that is Core, so we'll put the focus token on there. That means that they are going to be the focus of their attack. That will change throughout the game. We look here, the Flame Lizard is the one with the most health. So again, that's Core. So everybody's going for Core at the moment, and Core is up there. Then we have the Flame Hound, and that's with the least health, so that's going to go towards Roland. And then we have the Flame Lord, and that's with the most health, so that is going to go towards Core. So I know that the Flame Hound, which is this one that's next to Roland, is going to go for Roland, and these guys are going to go up towards Core up there. So that's what you do there. You set those, and then you begin drawing chits. So these are the chits that you're going to draw. Let's just pull out a few of these and see if I can show you an example of what they are. Okay, right. There's one more I want to get out. There we go. Okay, so we have these chits here. Okay, oops, I don't know if you can see those, but we have the various chits. So your Seeker will start with a number of chits in the bag, depending on how many Seekers are being played. So we have the chits there for one for Core and one for Roland. They're going to go in the bag. Then we have these hearts, okay? And these hearts are going to be placed on the time track. And when the time track is full, which is going to be of hearts and also of this darkness chip as well, when the time track is full, return these chits and those in the spent chits area to the bag, so it recycles the bag for you. Okay. Then we have these chits, and these tells you what action is going to be taken. Okay, so this determines which monster, because if you look at the top, they all have these numbered tokens next to them. That is the action that's going to be taken. So there's a number 4 token missing up there. So for example, if I was to draw this 1 out here, and I look where the 1 is on the board up here, it is the Flame Ape that's going to go, and it says with a sudden lunge, the Flame Ape smashes its fist down with incredible force. It's going to do 4 damage, and after attacking, the Flame Ape refocuses. It also says the Flame Ape is immune to terrain effects while the Flame Ape survives. The Flame Lord cannot. While the Flame Ape survives, the Flame Lord cannot be damaged. If the Flame Ape is defeated, discard all statuses from the Flame Lord and place overlay 4A on it. So you're going to be putting an overlay on there. So we can't do anything to the Flame Lord, this one here, until the Flame Ape is damaged. And those are essentially all of the tokens, and they go back into the bag. So put those in there. All of them go in. And then what we will do is we will, on a round by round basis, on a turn by turn basis, we will draw these particular tokens out. Okay. Okay. So that's the bag done there. So Seeker chits tell you the Seeker's going to do their move. The enemy chits that the enemy's going to do. Heart chits go on there, and the Darkness chits perform the action next to the Darkness, which is over there. And then you add it to the time track. It tells you here what the various boost cards can do, and also what all of the associated statuses are. So we'll draw into the bag, and we'll see what we pull out first. Okay, I hope it's one of mine. Oh, cool. So we've drawn Core out. Okay, so it's going to be Core that takes an action. Now on your turn, you can move one, or you can play and resolve one action card, and you can move before or after your action, and if after acting you have no action cards in your hand, you then discard. So you must always have action cards in your hand, or you discard the hand. So I could go towards the Flame Ape, I could go towards the Flame Lord, which I can't really do any damage to the Flame Lord, I don't think. Let's have a look. The Flame Lord is immune to terrain effects, and the Flame Lord cannot leave its starting space by any means, but we've gone over here, and it does say, while the Flame Ape survives, the Flame Lord cannot be damaged. So the only thing I can do damage to is there. So let's have a look at what we got here. Okay, well, I know I'm going to have to move, which is going to be there. And then we'll look at these various cards. That's a boost for a block. That is a Black Powder Bomb. This attack affects any Seekers in the target space as well. It's range 1. This action doesn't have a boost card and doesn't count towards your deck size. After you play it during battle, you remove it from your deck, so you get to use it one time, basically, this. We have Taunt, which is an action, which doesn't do anything, but I gain two shields. Here we go. This will deal 2 damage and also deliver a stun, which means that the enemy cannot attack on this turn. Okay, that might be a good one to do that, actually. So we'll do Aftershock Stunned. Vengeance of the Stone is a charm. That's quite a good one to play, actually, to start off with. So we're actually going to play Vengeance of Stone, which is a charm, and it instantly says, and while this card is in play, enemies suffer 1 loss of health each time they move. So I'm going to play that, and it says it's a free action. So that means I get to play another card afterwards. Okay, so let's have a look here. Riposte. For every strike, you may instead play this action as a 2 boost card. I quite like Aftershock, I think. So I'm going to play Aftershock, which is either green or red. So it's a 2 damage to an enemy 1 away from me. Okay, so that enemy has got 1 away there. So we'll play that card. So that is played, and it's going to do 2 damage, and it's going to issue a stun. So we're going to take their counter and knock it down by 2. So he's suddenly on 11 now, this. Okay, there we go. I know it says there, it gives you the starting health there, but because of how I went through the quest, they all started with 3 less. Then we're going to take a focus card, which is one of these, a status card, which is a stunned. And when this ability triggers, here we go. Yep, when this ability triggers, this enemy cannot attack this turn. Okay, so you get to put it over one of these. And if any of these then trigger, that means it can't attack. And I'm going to put it over that one because that feels the best one there. Okay, so that is my turn done. Okay, that's the first turn done. Now let's draw another chip out of the bag, another chit out of the bag, and see what we got. We got a 5. Okay, so they're going to attack. And what's going to attack? The Flame Lizard is going to attack. So we look up here, and they're going to, again, move 1, and they are going to go towards whoever's got that token. So they're going to go towards, what's his face? They're going to go towards Core. And it says, the Flame Lizard opens its fiery maw to bite down on you. After attacking, the Flame Lizard refocuses and gains 1. Okay, so they are going to come over here. They're one away from me, so they're going to... Oh, no, they can't. They're not in my area, so they're going to move as close as they can to me. But it's a melee, so they have to be in my area. So they've done number 5 there. We know that's not going to happen again. They haven't been able to attack me because for a melee, they have to be on the same as me, okay? So that worked in my favour. But they could still get a number 6 or 7 out of there as well and do that. Okay, so it's a heart. So we're going to put that heart on the time track. And what happens when you draw a heart is the seeker, you get to choose which seeker takes a turn, okay? So let's have a look. I'm down here. I could try to get rid of that flame lizard, but I might actually try and attack the flame hound down here, and we'll see if that we can get any boosts from our friend over there. So we have Roland's cards just here, okay? So I could attack up to 3 away. I'm going to save that, and that is a melee, and it's going to stun them as well if they move. We have Black Powder Bomb. The Flamehound is on 11. We have a Meteor Throw, and that's going to hurt them. Oh, they moved, didn't they? Sorry, they moved. And because I played that ward, that means that they are going to go down by 1 point anyway. So there we go. Because I played the ward card. Okay, so Meteor Throw is going to do hurt. So I think I'm going to play Meteor Throw. Now, if Core has any boost cards he could play, that would really help. Okay, so that's going to be a block. That's going to be another block. Now, he's got no boost cards he can play. They're both blocks there. So we can't play those. That's okay. So let's do Meteor Throw, which is here. And it says here, it's a range, so it's 1 away. Going to do 3 damage, plus give them a hurt status as well. So after attacking, you may move your target 1 space, so I can attack and then move around. And maybe I want to start thinking about moving around here. Because I can then... oh no, because it's the Flame Ape one I get. So we'll play that card, okay? So we're going to do 3 damage to the Flamehound. The Flamehound is immune to terrain effects. There's no terrain on here at the moment. Oh, there is. There's a fiery terrain. The Flamehound is immune to terrain effects. And while the Flamehound survives, the Flame Lord cannot be damaged. If the Flamehound is defeated, all status are removed. So we're going to do that. We're going to issue that. In fact, we'll go up there and we'll get this Flame Lord, okay? So we can issue a damage to the Flame Lord as well. So let's really start working on this the Flame Ape. So we're going to do 3 damage to him. So that is down to 8. There we go. That's there. And we're also going to issue a hurt status to them. Here we go. So a hurt status, which says, on the hurt status, when this ability triggers, discard this card and the enemy suffers 2. So we already know now that this Flame Ape, okay, no matter what ability triggers on here, they're going to get something. They're either not going to be able to attack or they're going to get hurt by 2. So that's the end of Roland's turn, I think. Yeah, that's the end of Roland's turn. Let's head back into the chip bag and find out what's going to happen. Remember, that was a free one because of the heart that came out. Right, it's number 6 that's going to happen now, okay? So look at number 6, it's a Flame Lizard again, okay? And the Flame Lizard's focus is still on, right there, the Flame Lizard's focus is still on Core, so he's going to move towards Core, okay? And the Flame Lizard whips its blazing tail around with stinging force, and he's going to do 1 damage and also 1 hurt and 1 stun. Well, guess what? Core has got some armor cards, so we're going to use Core's armor cards, okay? So here we go. When you suffer you suffer 1 less for each in your hand, then discard 1 card. Okay? When you discard a card, return it to the pile of unused armor cards. So he's going to do 1 damage and issue a hurt and a stun, but I'm going to use that armor card, which means it actually negates the hurt and the stun. So he's actually going to do no damage to me, but we are now kind of falling down on the amount of armor that Core has. So let's go back again. It's another heart. This is good. All right, so we can really start working on this. So this heart is going to go here, and I've got a feeling that let's have a look at what Core can do. That's that. It could do 2 damage, or we could do drew the black bomb powder. I'm going to keep that actually. So let's have a look at what our friend Roland can do. And this is the thing, you see, you've got to think about, you know, how best to get them. Loyal arrow, that's quite good. Loyal arrow, we could do that there. We could do fireball and issue a hurt against the flame ape, but he's already done there, so I'm not really bothered about issuing statuses. So we're going to play loyal arrow, which says after attacking you may discard any other card to return this card to your hand. It's quite a good one, that. And we're going to do another 3 damage over on the flame ape over here. This takes this down to 5. Okay, there we go. So that's good, and I can discard any other card to return that to my hand. Well, let's have a look. Let's drop that boost. Sorry, core. That's it. And we're going to return that to my hand. So we've got loyal arrow again. So you can keep cycling loyal arrow if you want. Right, okay, fine. Okay, so that's him done. He could move. Let's move up there. We're just a little bit away from things. Let's draw another chip out of the bag. It's a 7. Okay, so 7 is over here. It's a bloody flame lizard again. Right. So the flame lizard is going to whip around, so you had a 6 and a 7 on there. Okay, it's going to whip its tail again, but you know what? We're going to use another armor because I don't want to take anything. So I'm now down to 2 armor, but that means that the flame lizard just hasn't done. Still refocusing, and remember the focus is on the flame lizard with the most health. It's still there. Nothing has actually changed. So this is just how quick the turns can take, but knowing of your hands is really important. Right, okay, so we have Core having a go now. So back to Core now. Now he's going to think about, can he take out this, or at least get somewhere to take out the flame ape. So there we go. So we're going to take out the flame ape. Okay, it's a one-time use. It's a range one, but we're going to take out that flame ape. So there we go. We're going to use that. That now gets removed from my deck. We're going to issue 5 damage to the flame ape. Guess what? That's the flame ape gone. Boom. Those statuses now get evenly distributed amongst the remaining ones. So, oh no, it's the next one to the right. So what I can do here is I can put that there and that there. I know he's already gone. Is that right? No, he's already gone. We've got 5, 6 and 7, so he's done all his. So we know the next one to move is going to be this or the Flame Lord. I'm not too worried about the Flame Lord just yet, he said. I'm sure he's going to do loads and loads of damage, but they won't. You'll not be able to do any damage to them. So yes, so we've destroyed that, and now we can move. Let's just move out the way of the Flame Lord just a little bit, okay? Just in case that Flame Lord moves, and of course we're out of the area now for the Flame Lizard. Okay, so now we go again. Oh, it's Core again. Okay, so let's have a look what else is in Core's hand. Okay, I could have played a boost there, could I? Let's look at the boost that we got available here. It's an armor. There's no other boost there. They're just action cards. Oops, sorry, knocked the camera. We still have some action cards here. So I can taunt. And what does taunt do? It gains me... Okay. This gains me 2 armor, which could be good, and I'm going to draw that flame lizard away from Roland. So let's do that, in fact. So I'm going to gain 2 more to my hand. So we'll play that. Gain 2 more to my hand. Armor. 1, 2. And we're going to draw that into where I am. And I know he's got no more moves left because 5, 6 and 7 are already out. Okay. Let's go again. We have a number 4. Oh, yeah, he's got 1 more move left, which is this here. I forgot about that because I'm missing number 4 chip. So he's in my space area anyway. He's going to attack me. He's going to do 2 damage plus that 1 hit. So let's have a look. I've got 3 here. It's going to reduce the damage by that. I'm going to get rid of one of those. I don't take the additional stuff, and that means that I'm okay. He's not able to hurt me, but I'm running low on that. But that was a nice move, so I do know he's all gone now. So let's move that back to there. Another chip. And now it's another Roland turn. Okay, so Roland is over here. At the moment, let's have a look. Roland could do Loyal Arrow. He could get down towards that Flame Hound, which is on 11 at the moment, which is the ranged attack he's got. Black Powder Bomb. Now we're going to save that, or fireball and do a hurt on the flame hound. Well, the flame hound is already, oh yeah, sorry, he moved, didn't he? So that's another one down for him. Forgot about that. Down to 10 because of the charm that's in play. Okay. Flamehound's already got that. We can't do that because there's terrain there, and I will take damage if I go on that terrain. So I'm going to have to go around this way and fight this particular area down here. Okay. So let's do the loyal arrow. So we're going to move down to here, and we're going to play this, which is an arrow of 3. A range shot, so it's the next one, does damage of 3. Now, if these guys were on here as well, it would damage all 3 of them. But because it's just that one that's on there, it's just that gets damaged. It only damages them all if that's there. And after attacking, I may discard any other card to return this to my hand. So we'll do that. We're going to attack you for 3. So 1, 2, 3. Let's see. Yeah, you're hurt. You're stunned. And they can't attack. Sorry, they couldn't attack. So actually, they've got that stunned in there. They couldn't attack on their turn. Yeah, they couldn't attack on their turn. The Flamehound. No, the Flamehound isn't. He's stunned. Yeah. Okay, so that's fine. So we're going to attack down here for 3 towards the Flamehound. So that is going to take them down to 7. 7. There we go. And I can discard any other card to get that back into my hand. Let's just discard Black Powder Bomb because I don't need that just yet. So I'm quite happy for that not to be there. Okay, so that is Cora's turn. We're starting to whiz through this now. 2 is over here. It's the Flame Ape. He can't go. He's dead. So then we do these. Number 11. 11 is over here and it is stunned. Here we go. So discard this card. The enemy cannot attack on this turn, okay? So it can move, but it can't attack. Is that right? Yeah, can't attack. So we're going to move towards whoever's got that, and that's me. It's going to move there, but then we discard that card, and that is it. So that was a fairly benign move for me. So let's see what happens when we get this particular token out. Okay, I'll draw this from the bag purposefully. Okay. So this is to perform the enemy action who's got this next to them. It's a darkness chit, okay? And that is over here, and we are talking the Flame Lord, all right? So that all goes on the time track, so when the next heart comes out, that's going to do it. And we look down here, and it says, the Flame Lord lifts his hands and pushes a wave of searing heat right at you. Okay, so it's going to move towards, who's got the Flame Lord? It's going to move towards Core up here, and it's going to do an attack towards me, okay? And it says it's a ranged or melee, and it's going to issue a hurt. So what would happen here is if I didn't use my armor, which I will do, all right, I would take 1 damage. I would reduce my dial down by 1, and then I would take one of these hurt cards and I would place it into my hand. And it says on here, so it's 2-sided, 1 for the bad guys, 1 for the seekers. Well, any hurt cards are in your hand at the start of your turn, suffer 1, ignoring all armour per hurt card in your hand. If you do not gain a hurt card this turn, discard 1 hurt card at the end of your turn. And when you discard a hurt card, return it to the pile. So when you get a hurt card, they go into your hand. Every turn that you play while it's in your hand, you suffer 1 damage. The only way to get rid of them is to do a turn without a hurt card, a hurt card being issued, and then you can actually get rid of it from your hand. So the Lord will move there. I'm actually going to use this, obviously. He's only going to do 1 damage, so we'll get rid of that. The effects don't apply, and it says, after this, refocus. Nothing to refocus at the moment. Refocus will happen because they're on most health and most shields, I think it is, yeah? Most health, least health, and most health. They're the only ones that are left there. So everything is still all right because our health hasn't been affected. Look, I'm going to stop it there, but you can see how quickly the combat phases actually work. It really is a blast to play and, you know, kind of working out working out what's left in the bag when the chips are coming out, understanding that they may not come out in the order that you want them to is really, really important. You can use fate tokens as well. You'll be given fate tokens throughout the game. That's these blue tokens here. You can use those occasionally. Before you draw from the bag, you spend one of those fate tokens, you put it in the void box, which is this here. That means they're kind of lost for the game. You put it in the void box, and then you draw 4 chip tokens out of the bag, and then choose the one you want, put the rest back in the bag. So there's a bit of mitigation to go against the swinginess of drawing chips out of a bag there. Each battle is probably going to take you somewhere in the region of 20-30 minutes, something like that. Well, certainly in the earlier stages. I'm sure they get more complex as you go on. Of course, different maps have different terrain on there, so all of my bad guys are immune to it. Obviously here, if I went on there, I would have taken a hurt token. So kind of positioning of where you're starting off with your Seekers is really, really important as well. That's it. Brief overview on how you play the combat phases of Kinfire Chronicles from Incredible Dream Studios. So every now and again, a game comes along and it kind of surprises you by how much you enjoy playing it. You may not have had any real preconceived notions or ideas on how the game is going to play, but then you read a little bit about it or you do a bit of research into it and you think, actually, that looks kind of fun. And I was really pleasantly surprised by Kinfire Chronicles in just, first of all, how well it plays, how smooth it is to play the game. It is another campaign game, and I should imagine that most of us have got enough campaign games to be going on with, so it has to do something a little bit different to stand out, to make it be a campaign game that you want to continue playing. And in the main part, it actually achieves that as well. There's a few things that really work in its favour. First of all, the production quality is almost fantastic. There are a few little niggles, but the production quality is almost fantastic. The storage solution works really, really well. Everything goes back into the box. This is actually the lid of the box. The base of the board here is the lid of the box that folds over it, and it all sets up and tears down in about 5 minutes either side, which is really, really good. And the actual quality of the components as well, the fact that they've decided to go for acrylic standees for the Seekers is just a welcome kind of change from like a sea of grey miniatures or washed miniatures or having to paint miniatures, etc. And I totally understand and absolutely kind of get on board with the fact that for all the various monsters and bad guys you're going to be fighting, then they've gone for cardboard for that. It's exactly the right thing. The chips are nice. The chits, should I say, are a nice plastic on the chits there, so that works really, really well. And in terms of kind of laying the game out and playing the game with this book that comes with it, just an absolute joy to set up and tear down. However, there are just a couple of niggles. For example, we talked about these boxes here of cards that you get with all the cards in there and the secret envelopes. There's no dividers in there, and you've got to work out your own way, and it just feels, like an extra step there would have just made a bit of a difference. I believe that, there is a more deluxe version of this where there is some extra stuff that you can get in terms of kind of quality of gaming. I think my biggest bugbear are these health spinners just here, right? I mean, look at this, right? These don't hold on at all. These are absolutely, possibly the worst spinners I've ever had. The sheer weight of one disc under the other starts separating them, and keeping track on these is just an absolute nightmare. You're going to have to come up with a solution. I stuff bits of paper into some of them or bits of cellophane into some of them, and it's just a kind of an obvious misstep that it's obviously a production issue and nobody picked up on it when the copies went out, and I'm sure they will rectify that for the next one. But when I get it out, I'm like, oh, for God's sake, I've got to do that again. I've got to work out how those spinners don't actually move. That is kind of, in terms of production wise, they're the only niggles. Now, in terms of the game itself, you have this progressive way of learning the rules, which is excellent. So you go through the various rule books in the early quests, and of course, I say there may be some in the later quests. I don't actually know just yet, but you go through the rule books in a nice progressive way, so it eases you into the game, and that's a really good way to make this game accessible for a lot of people. You're not overpowering people, because depending on your propensity for an adventure style dungeon crawler style game, it's not really dungeon crawler but an adventure style game, then a lot of us understand the flow of how they work and other people don't necessarily do that. So having that spoon-fed to you, if you like, is really good. On the downside from that is the game just needs a general rulebook as well. Because, you know, if I've not got it to the table for a month or so, I've got to go through all of the rulebooks that I've got just to remember how everything links together. And it would be nice to have that flow. I know it's very well printed on the board, but it would be nice to have that flow kind of easing you into, allowing you that one stop for information. So rules work really, really well. And but there is that caveat that, you know, you may want just one place for a concise rule, so a small leaflet would have been really, really good. Now, when it comes to the quests, I'm not going to open them. They all come in these individual quest box here, so this is the final quest. Well, this is quest number 21 for the Tempest. When you open it up, okay, I'm not going to show you the inside, but you get this text on the inside of the box there, which tells you exactly kind of, you know, what you're leading up to there. You're going to get all the relevant cards that go with it, and standees, etc., for all the monsters and all the bad guys you're going to be fighting. And you may have more than one quest available to you. Certainly for the second scenario, second quest, you may have more than one quest available to you, so you can take these branching paths. Gameplay-wise, plays really quick once you understand those rules. I do think experienced gamers might find it a little easy though. So you know, I haven't lost a quest just yet. I've been close, but I haven't lost a quest so far. But I do think that you know, it's just a tad on the easy side. It's not totally easy, but just a tad on the easy side. That depends on your views on that, on what you're playing the game for. Are you playing it for the experience? Do you want the story to unfold? Do you want the, you know, do you want a real challenge? Do you want something to really push you to the limits of what you can do with your curated deck, and whether you need to go back and curate it slightly differently? So a tad on the easy side, possibly, and I think that, you know, looking on forums, that seems to be an overriding view, but only a tad, and not enough to take away from the total enjoyment of the game, because I'm having a real blast playing this game. I think for experienced adventure gamers and dungeon crawlers, it's not a dungeon crawler, experienced adventure gamers, having all of the kind of the locked decks and the locked packs and the secret envelopes, it's pretty bloody good, to tell you the truth, because it obviously creates a sense of excitement for you. But for new people to this style of game, who've never had the experience of opening a kind of an envelope or a locked deck, wow, you know, that is something really, really good. The story, moving along nicely, but it is a bit kind of, you know, quest by quest at the moment. I'm sure there is an overriding arc. I've just not really found it at this stage. So I'm moving from quest to quest, but as I say, I'm only kind of a quarter of the way through the game as it stands at so far. So maybe a little bit more depth into the story would be good. I kind of like they've done it on cards. There's less space for text and less space for exposition, but it's not another bloody book to read through at the same time. So I understand why they've done it on cards, but of course with cards, and you're moving from one to the other, kind of choosing which ones you want to do. And the paths you choose can depend on which adventures you've got as well on the table, or what certain things they do in terms of what's on their deck and what cards they flip over. And the paths you choose from that. But it does provide obviously less space for exposition. Look, so overall, I was really more than pleasantly surprised by Kinfire Chronicles. I thought it was going to be all right, and you know, I thought it was just going to be okay. The slight swinginess of the bag, drawing chits out of there, may affect some people's views on that. I do like the fact that you can use the fate tokens to kind of mitigate that somewhat. So it's not a strict turn order, and you know your plan going in may not work the way that you think it's going to do because of what comes out of the bag. So do bear that in mind. But overall, it's so pleasantly surprised with it, and there was a reason it kind of appeared in my top 10 solo games of 2023. For everything that I've mentioned, yes, there are some niggles, some production qualities, lack of exposition, the slight easiness of it. But putting all those aside, you know, if you're looking for a really good adventure that sets up in kind of 5 to 10 minutes, tears down in 5 minutes or so, and each session will take you probably about an hour to complete once you've done the adventure, you've visited the town, you've upgraded, and you've done the combat. So you know if you've got that hour, then you know you can get it out, put it on the table, and play a game and put it away if you wanted to. Yeah, I heartily recommend this from a solo perspective if adventure games are your thing, if deck curation is your thing, if pulling chits out of a bag is your thing, if having a wonderful production value that, yeah, the box is a bit big and it does take up a bit of table real estate as well, but if having something that looks pretty good out on your table is your thing, then you need to go and check out Kinfire Chronicles. As I say, Kinfire Council, which I believe is a two-player minimum game, hits Kickstarter on the 30th of April. The link is in the description below. You will be able to pledge for the for the reprint of the Kinfire Chronicles. There's a few errata. Go online in some of the cards, etc. Just go online just to understand and make sure that you know what the errata is. There's not that much. It's not a big block of errata, and maybe a lot of that will be resolved for the second reprint. So, thank you very much for joining me on my journey through Kinfire Chronicles Night's Fall from Incredible Dream Studios, designed by Kevin Wilson and Adela Kapuscinska. I hope I got that right. I say available to pledge with Kinfire Council or in the Kinfire Council Kickstarter, which launches on April the 30th. Really enjoy my time with it. I'm going to continue playing Kinfire Chronicles. Everybody I've spoken to who has played it has had a really good time with it as well. So yeah, thank you for joining me on this journey. My name's Mark. This is Not Board Gaming. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Check out our other videos. And one final thought. If you can't find anyone else to play with, then there's nothing wrong with playing with yourselves. Until next time.